Hello, nieces and niestos. How are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista, and over here we do mainly things fragrance, whether it's body or home. And today we are here to do fragrance content. And I want to share with you fragrances that I wore over the course of the past 2 weeks. And I'll explain to you why it has to be so lengthy. Okay, nieces and niestos. So I am behind, and please forgive me, but I have a really legitimate excuse. All right. I had laryngitis the week before Thanksgiving. Got it the week before Thanksgiving, and it got really, really bad. But leading into Thanksgiving Day, it got all clear. And then, all the family things and the friends giving things that you may have going on, all of that was taking place. So that threw me behind. So I want to share with you the fragrances that I wore for the week of November the 12th and the week of November 19th, which was the week of Thanksgiving. So let's just get right into it. So starting on that Sunday, and I did mention this in my last what I wore this week, that I'm just really into these gourmand things. And I just think naturally, the way my body is wired, this time of year, I just crave those gourmand fragrances. But on Sunday, I just did something very random and it was a no-no. All right, so I started off with the Molecules M01, and this is the Molecules 01, and this is a very close to skin fragrance. It has one fragrance note, which is artificial. It has the ISOE super in it, and that's like an artificial ambroxan or some type of musk. So this fragrance, in my opinion, this fragrance probably is really designed to enhance your natural body pheromones and fragrances. That's just what it is. So it's also good to pair with other fragrances to really pull out some of those close to skin fragrance notes so it can really mesh within your skin, and your skin and the fragrance can do its thing. So I started off with this, and then I went in with the Bergamot 22 by Les Labos. So this is Bergamot 22 by Les Labos. This is probably my most favorite bergamot fragrance. And this is a musky, citrusy type of fragrance. It does have some notes of jasmine in it. It has some cedar, bergamot, of course, and it has a musk note in it. And it is so good. Les Labos did this so well. And I do think that it is a balanced unisex fragrance. But pairing it with this and those citrus notes really just did something on this particular day. I did not enjoy this fragrance combination at all. I think it was really good, but it was just the wrong time of the year for it. So this is what I wore on Sunday. So Monday, I got back to my gourmand thing, and I started off with, and this is probably going to be like, why this? You said gourmand. But I started off with this lavender and vanilla sleep aromatherapy body lotion. Now, the reason why I did that, for some reason, I don't know what it is about the Billie Eilish fragrance, but to me, I do feel like there is a lavender note in there. But this lavender note combined with the vanilla that's in there, it gives it this very creamy type of vanilla lavender fragrance. But Billie Eilish, we know it is a vanilla forward gourmand type of fragrance, but it's something in that fragrance that really reminds me of this. So I just, oh, why not? Let's pair it. So I used that, and then I went in with the Neighbor's Gold because I am out of my Billie Eilish. She is empty, but I had purchased a Neighbor's Gold, and this to me is actually better. The lasting power is better, but it is a spot-on dupe, in my opinion, for Eilish. It just has a better performance, in my opinion. So that was my fragrance combination for Monday. You got tons of just sweet berries. In the opening, there is a berry note here. You got the cacao note. You got that sugary tonka with that vanilla, and it was so good. So this was my fragrance for Monday. All right, now moving on into Tuesday, I stuck with my cravings, which is that gourmand crave. So I started off with the margarita cupcakes, and this is a classic. So for those of you who know, you know this is a fan favorite in Bath and Body Works. You do need to bring it back. I would suggest even leaving it in the same package. This is so good, and this is the last of what I have of this particular fragrance. The fragrance notes in Margarita Cupcake are key lime, sunny citrus blossom with whipped vanilla. So this is like your creamy orange vanilla type of fragrance. It smells so good. And it does actually smell like an orange or some type of citrus cupcake. Really good. So I use these body care products. And then I went in with something that's relatively new to my collection. And this is the Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. Now, Devotion, it has that beautiful orange blossom note in it. It has that sweet, sugary lemon candy type of note, and it has like a rum note in it. It is really good. And of course, vanilla. So this is getting a lot of raving reviews here in the community. This is one of, I think, the girls' favorite this season, and she is relatively nice. I like her. And what I do like about her, the soft floralness that is in here, I feel that it can be worn in the spring and summer, and that vanilla gourmand booziness that we smell here, it is good for the fall and winter. So this is definitely a year-round fragrance. This is the middle size. When I repurchase, I'm sure I probably will, because I'm really enjoying this. I'll probably just go ahead and upgrade and get the larger size. So again, that was my fragrance combination for Tuesday. Okay, so on Wednesday, I did not include any type of special layering body care products. I don't use layering body care products every day, but a lot of days I do. So if I mention them, it's because I feel like it had a key role in giving me the fragrance that I got for that particular day. But on a regular, I'm just normally using my regular Dove and my bar soap and body wash, because I'm going to use a bar soap every day, morning and night. I'm going to use bar soap, and whatever body wash that I choose to use, and the body oils and or lotions. But this particular day, it was just basic. I just had my regular Coco Shea body oil and my regular Dove. So I started off with this. This is Valentino Donna Born and Roma Intense. This is a release from this year, 2023. Never been one that was overly intrigued by the Valentino line, but like I said, this was a frame of reference purchase. That's why I got such a small bottle, because I wanted to be able to make a connection with the latest one that they released, which was the Donna Born and Roma Pink Double P. But this right here, it's a sweet vanilla forward type of fragrance. It does have amber. It has a benzoin note in it, and it has vanilla. So very basic in its, fragrance notes. But I do think that there is a strong liking for the type of DNA that it gives. This is just your girly girl, it girl, sweet type of fragrance. I get it. But this one is something about the benzoin on the dry down that just does not mix well with me. So what I've been doing, I've been layering this with something that I think will balance out that benzoin. So I layered it on this particular day with Tom's Ford Electric Cherry. Now, this is definitely more of a spring, summer type of cherry, but I thought layering it with this, with that benzoin and that amber and that subtle vanilla note that you get in here, I felt like this would work really well. But believe it or not, this overshined this. Another thing about this fragrance is not as long lasting as I thought it would be. I think the pink PP lasts a little longer to me with this with this fragrance, and it's probably because I become nose blind to the other notes because that benzoin is so nagging to me. But it worked out well. So this was a nice combination. I have to say that towards the end of the day, I smelled more of this than this, or even a balance of the two. So again, this was my fragrance cocktail for Wednesday. Now on Thursday was one of those one girl type of shows. You don't need anything but to take a good bath. And this is one of those fragrances, it didn't even require all that extra scrubbing and exfoliating, the extra oils for the fragrance to attach to and have a barrier. This fragrance does not require all of that. This is a one-woman show. And the fragrance that I wore on Thursday was none other than Guidance by Amouage. This fragrance is this and Valea and Passe Soie. They are running like neck to neck, trying to decide what is my favorite niche release for 2023. This is so good. It has notes of pear, it has some saffron in it, it has frankincense, and it has something that I think that I have really grabbed a hold to as far as it being one of my favorite fragrance notes, as long as it's done correctly. It's that Akigali wood. It is so good. And this has made me a fan favorite, or a fan, not a fan favorite, but a fan of Mr. Clinton Biche, because the things that I have discovered from his fragrance line just this year alone, they have been so mind-blowing. I am really enjoying his fragrances that I have been newly introduced to, or they were newly released. So again, this is Amouage Guidance. All right, now on Friday, I slid back into my gourmand situation, and I really enjoyed this fragrance so much till I got to order another one, because this one it's gone. It's just about gone. But what I did was I started off with another vanilla forward gourmand type of fragrance, and I started off with the Contemptor Sud Pacifique Vanilla Extreme. And this is such a good vanilla fragrance. The only thing is it performs like a body spray. I really wish that they could make their fragrances last longer. They have some really good fragrances. So I started with this, and then I went in with this. Now, by then, my laryngitis was peaked out. I could barely speak. You could barely understand what I was saying. So I notice when I'm having those issues, I tend to like more subtle, comforting fragrances. And this is probably one of my most comforting fragrances that I truly enjoy. And I don't know if you can see that little line there. Maybe if I hold it this way. But it's out. It's out. So this is definitely, I wouldn't say that it's on the wish list, but because I've already experienced it, but I need to replenish this. It's time. And I think that I'm probably just going to go ahead and upgrade to the 100 ml because I like it so very much. So this was my fragrance cocktail for Friday. All right, now moving on into Saturday. Saturday was one of those kickback kind of days, and I was vacuuming the room. And once your fragrance collection get to a certain point, I just think you tend to forget about things. And I was vacuuming and cleaning my room area, and I found this fragrance under the bed. And it's a good fragrance. I have truly enjoyed this fragrance. But I'm like, I never even missed this from the fragrance cabinet. But this is what I found under the bed, and this is what I wore on that particular day. And this is Gypsy Water by Byredo. Gypsy Water is so good. This is one of those well-balanced unisex type of fragrance The musk is done just right. The sandalwood is just right. This is so good. The bergamot is just right. So this was all that I had on that day. And the thing about, to me, even with the Mojave Ghost, these fragrances, they're close to skin, but they're with you all day. So this has notes of it has some juniper berry in it. It has some orris. It has bergamot. It has like a mild incense note in it. And it has that beautiful sandalwood in it. This is so good. Oh, this is so good. This is good. So this is one of my favorites from the House of Byredo. So this was what I wore on Saturday, you guys. So that concludes the week of November 12th. So the following week was the week of Thanksgiving, starting on November the 19th. So let's just get right into the week of November 19th. All right, so starting on Sunday, I did quite a bit. But I had a brunch date with my toots. So this fragrance combination, it was really good. And I was about to say it was my favorite for this week, but it's my second favorite. So I started off with something that I'm glad I listened to and paid attention. I was over at AI the Great and I heard her speak about one of OGX body washes that's no longer on the, well, you can get it at Amazon, but you can't find it like in Target or Walmart. So anytime someone says that FMO, it gets really big, almost like anxiety. So when she said that you can find it on Amazon, I shot right over to Amazon and it was a good price. Actually, I just placed an order this past weekend for another one. But this body wash is everything that she claimed it to be. Thank you. So this body wash, and it doesn't say all of these things that you can actually smell in it. That's another thing that intrigued me when she was like, it doesn't even say that is this. You probably wouldn't even think that it smells like this, but it does. This is Shea Soft and Smooth Body Wash, and it just says Decadent Aroma. It says that it has shea butter, agave, and coconut oil, and that's it. But this is a body wash. I did get this off Amazon. I'll have it linked below, but go and thank AI the Great because this is where I learned it from. But this is so good. This smells like anything ooey and gooey that you can think about. Butterscotch, caramel, vanilla. This is so good. So sweet and good. Very surprising. So like I said, that was another thing that made me be like, okay, it doesn't say that it has all of this, but she was explaining how well it smells. So this is a Gourmand Delight body wash. So good. So I started off with this and it just got me right in the mood. In the shower, I was totally getting in the mood and I was like, okay, what fragrances am I going to wear? Because I knew the body care that I wanted and I was trying to decide the fragrance. So the body care that I went in or sealed the deal with was the Midnight Amber Glow. Now, Midnight Amber Glow, it has fragrance notes of smooth amber, caramel latte, and vanilla bourbon. So this was my second favorite release from last year with Bath and Body Works. So good. This is so good. This is probably one of their best gourmand fragrances. So I have a fragrance in my collection that I've really been waiting to wear at the right time because this is a banger. A banger, banger, banger. All right, but I didn't start with that one. I started with this one. I started with one of my favorites, and this is YSL Libre La Parfum, and this is the one that has that orange blossom and lavender note in it with vanilla. It is just so good. Very beautiful fragrance. It's one of those fragrances, in my opinion, it's like 2-for-1. You can get a beautiful girly floral type of fragrance, floral vanilla fragrance, but it does have like this gourmand edge to it if it's paired with the right thing. This is so good. My favorite. This is actually my second bottle. But the fragrance that I was most excited about to wear, and I went ahead, pulled it, and I paired it with all of the things that I just explained, was and I was playing, it was a play on the lavender that was inside of the leaf, because I felt like I had everything gourmand I needed, but I wanted to give the lavender just as much play as the gourmand. So not only does this have a high note of lavender in it, but it has this maple note in it that is just so good. So I went in with Bun number 9, none other than New Harlem. Now, for those of you who know and understand New Harlem, this is the not the cupcake, but the pancake fragrance. And believe it or not, more gentlemen um enjoy this fragrance, in my opinion, from what I've seen, than women. But I'm a woman that enjoys it. But it is so good. It's one of those very um rich. It's rich. It's rich and it's deep. The lavender is just as deep as the richest maple syrup that you probably will ever smell. It's just that good. And Bud number 9, for the most part, they do their gourmands really, really well. But what I must say, the gourmands that I have of theirs, they're very rich, very deep. And this one, it's probably one of their first gourmand fragrances, because this is an old fragrance that was re-released. But that was my fragrance cocktail for Sunday, and it was very, very, very good. Totally enjoyed it. So moving on into Monday. Monday was one of those days you're getting ready for the holidays, very laid back type of day. Even in the office, I had to go in this particular day, and I had a fragrance that, it's an old fragrance to me, but I just introduced it back into my collection, and I wanted to give it some shine. So what I did was I wanted to pair it with something that was somewhat gourmandy, but not the cakey type of gourmand, more of the fruity type of gourmand. And when I show you this, I know apples are fruit, but the champagne that's in this fragrance, the notes that are in this fragrance, it's more of a gourmand than fruity fragrance, in my opinion. So I use this as my body moisturizer, and this is a very strong body moisturizer. If you need anything that smells like apple and it has that sweet honey note to it, and you need it to stick or enhance your fragrance, you want to get you some of this. That champagne apple and honey, and maybe you'll be able to find some at SAS. I'm not really sure, but this is an old packaging from last year, and I was able to find these for like $3. And this is a really good body cream. So I went in with that, and then I went in with this. I don't have the champagne apple and honey fine fragrance mist. Wish that I did, but they sold out before I was able to get it this past season. So I paired it with a coconut candy apple, and this has fragrance notes of candied red apple, shredded coconut, and vanilla spice. So it pairs really well. They, they're not the same, but they go together real bad. They go together real bad. So then I wanted to try to wear my Miracle. Now, in the past, this wasn't a fragrance that I layered. This was just a fragrance that I put a lot on, and I put a lot of it on when I would wear it. But I would get so many compliments off this fragrance. This fragrance has a high note of quince in it. It has some ginger, and it has a musky note. Yeah, sounds kind of weird, but it worked. It worked with the honey and the apple and the coconut. It was nice. So really enjoyed that combination on Monday. Now, Tuesday, you guys, for some reason, I cannot remember Tuesday. I don't remember it. I don't know if it was the day that I was like moving on into like getting my voice back, and I just cannot remember Tuesday before Thanksgiving for whatever reason. But I do remember what I had on Thursday. Not Thursday, Wednesday. Is a fragrance that I wanted to just experience some more. Thanks to my SA, she always showed me so much love. So I had quite a few decants of or samples of the latest fragrance from Creed, which is Creed Carmina. It has fragrance notes of black cherry, saffron, pink pepper, rose de mai, violet cashmere, some peony, some frankincense, some myrrh, amber, and musk. Believe it or not, although the bottle is just as beautiful as it is, this fragrance, it does have a cherry note, but I would not say that it is a cherry forward fragrance. The cherry is there and it makes its presence known, but this is a beautiful, sophisticated, elegant type of fragrance, you guys. It is really, really nice. I have completely been enjoying this, and I got to make a decision, you know, which one of these I want for Christmas. Do I want this or do I want something new from Bun? But this is a beautiful fragrance, you guys. If you have not had a chance to get in store and sample the Carmina by Creed, I would suggest that you do it, but this is the fragrance that I wore on Wednesday. All right, so the next day, which was Thursday, which was what many of us consider to be Thanksgiving holiday, Friendsgiving, however you want to categorize it in your culture, that's fine with me. But I had been saving this particular fragrance for that day because I was like, it's going to be perfect. It's something new to my collection, but I played around with it, sampled it some, but this was the official first day that I wore it as my fragrance of the day. So I started off with the Tree Hut Iced Coffee Body Scrub. Yes, I'm sharing the body scrub because I do feel like this body scrub is so highly fragrant that it does help and support the fragrance that you're wearing on that particular day. Now, I don't know if this came in the body wash, but I wish it did, or I wish I could have found it because I am enjoying their foam and body washes as well. So I started off with this, and it does smell like coffee, but it smells like it has some cinnamon in it. So then I used my Fenty body butter, and I use the warm cinnamon one, and this is a cinnamon delight. And see, I have just about made it through this, but I do have a backup. So I went in with this, and it does have a light shimmer to it. This is so good. Then I went in with the white pumpkin and chai, another pumpkin cinnamon type of fragrance. So good. This smells like a beautiful perfume to me. This smells more like a perfume than it does a body spray. So it has the pumpkin note, it has a vanilla note in it, and it has some chai in it. I think it has some cinnamon in it too. But this is really good. So I use this. So the highlight of that day was a fragrance that's new to the fragrance collection, and it's also new to my collection, but it's from the House of Parfums de Marly, and it is Altair. Altair. Now this is from the Gentleman's line, you guys, but to me, this is definitely a unisex fragrance, and it is so good. This fragrance has some notes of praline. I think it has like some type of coffee or cappuccino in it. I know it has cinnamon in it and it has vanilla, of course, but this is so good. This is good. Now, when I mix this with all of the things that I mixed it with on this particular day, as I thought about the fragrance when I was wearing, I'm like, this is more of a female fragrance. But I had to think about when I just sampled it in isolation, just playing around with it. It's a unisex fragrance. It's not a male fragrance. To me, it's unisex. So, and I think most people or most enthusiasts as far as fragrance, there's no such thing. Even me, I say that something is more forwarding for male or female. But honestly, even before I got off into this content creation world, fragrance has always been my thing. And there are male fragrances. I know my husband wore this fragrance a long time ago that was called 212 by Carolina Herrera. I wore that. It was said to be for men, but I totally enjoyed it. So those of you who know and you understand whether it's unisex or not, if it's a male fragrance and you digging it and you like it, you wear what you like. But this fragrance cocktail, it was so good. I really enjoyed it on this particular day. It is a gourmand fragrance, but I can't say that you smell like food, because there are some fragrance where you really smell like food, and that's okay too. So that was my fragrance for Thursday. But on Friday, this is what I wore. I started off with something that's fairly new to the fragrance world as well as my collection, but this is the Prada Paradoxe Intense. Now, this Prada Paradoxe is very similar to the original Prada. I do have that one in my collection as well, but this one is better, you guys. So it has notes of jasmine, and it has this moss note in it that is super good. It's a really nice fragrance, you guys. Every store that I first went to Ulta and sampled this, and I think I was in Macy's and sampled it. Then I ended up purchasing it at Sephora, but all the essays, they rave about this, and they are saying, what I just said, that this is better than the original, and it is. So I wore this, but I wanted to add just a little more sweetness. Now it's sweet on its own, but I wanted to add just a little more sweetness to it, more of like an airy sweetness to it. So then I paired it with the Valentino Pink PP. So this was really good. I have to say that this outlasted this in my opinion. I think I just became nose blind to this, and that moss note that you get in here, it mossed all day. It was mossing. It was really nice, but I really enjoyed the combination. So that was my fragrance combination for Friday. Now, moving on into Saturday. Oh, this was so, so, so good. Whew, this was good. Y'all ready? All right. So I started off with Tree Hut, of course. I started off with just my regular Dove soap, and that's how I do my routine. I just do my regular Dove bar soap, and then I go in with my shower gel, whichever shower gel I use. And then if I'm doing something that I want to follow me out of the shower, if it lasts that long, I do that last. So I then went in with the Berry Bright. This is a very sweet, tarty berry fragrance. It is really nice. Really like it. I think I want to get a backup of it. So I went in with Berry Bright. And then after I exfoliated, I then used the Berry Bright Foaming Body Gel. And it smells the same. Very highly fragrant. Very highly fragrant. This is one of those fragrances that will follow you out of the shower. So I went in with that. Then I went in with the Strawberry Snowflake. This is from Bath and Body Works, and this is a repackage, but it was just re-released again this year. And for some reason, I have a mini, and I was, around the house just playing around, and I sprayed that mini, just trying things out, and I fell so, so in love with it. And I can't remember liking it that much when it came out last year. If you think that the strawberry snowflake from last year is different than the one this year, leave that in the comments below, because can't remember liking the one from last year the way that I like this one. So I went in with this body lotion. It has fragrance notes of juicy strawberry, whipped cream, and iced bergamot. This is so good, you guys. The spray smells like it has like a musk note in it. It is so good. So then I went in with the Fine Fragrance Mist. I sprayed my body, I sprayed my clothes, and I actually got drenching wet with this. So I went in with this, and then I went in with Burberry Her. This is one of the most popular strawberry fragrances that I have in my collection. She is good. She has some floral notes in it, like some violet, and I think it has some jasmine, I want to say, in it, and it has berry notes in it, like raspberries and blackberries and strawberries, because it does smell like strawberry to me. And I went in with that, and it paired so perfect. So these two alone pair really well. And then I had to top it off because I wanted to make it just a little bit more creamier. And I went in with none other than my number one vanilla for this year. And this is Escapade Gourmand by Mason Mataha. And this is a very just simple but intense gourmand vanilla type of fragrance. Oh, it's good. It's just sugar and vanilla. It's so good. But that cocktail, this cocktail, it was by far my favorite out of the 2 weeks. So good. This was so good. So I think I shared it on YouTube, and I shared it. Of course, I shared it on Instagram, but I think I shared this on my community wall on YouTube. So good. So those was my fragrance cocktails over the past 2 weeks, you guys. I want to thank you so much for coming back. I greatly appreciate you for your patience and always just showing back up. Do not forget, you, yes, you are great. Bye-bye.